how I did it from 0 to 444 subscribers in 30 days on a brand new YouTube channel. This is time sensitive. Time sensitive just meaning the date of the time when I started my channel was on October 19th of this year, 2024, or whenever you're watching this video. Now, I'm saying that this is time sensitive because since I started my channel over 30 days ago and I was able to accomplish having acquired 444 subscribers in 30 days. Now, why did I choose 444 instead of 1,000 subscribers and all of that? Well, I mean, quite naturally, it's 444. So because of that, that was like, a special thing, because I realized when I seen how many subscribers I had, I was like, oh, wow, let me see how long it's been. And it was exactly 30 days to the day. And today, as of the date of this recording, I'm at 639 subscribers. So, there goes the 369, right? All right. Now, with that being said, this is exactly how I did it. This is important for you to know. So as I move on and I tell you exactly how I did it, you need to know a little bit of something about my background and the purpose and reason why I even started this channel in the first place. That is going to be very important to knowing. So when I give you the information as to how I was able to get to 444 subscribers in 30 days, and also to date at 639 subscribers and continue growing, and why I will reach 1,000 subscribers plus moving forward, is because of this reason. I have multiple YouTube channels that I've had over the years. I have done a lot of testing and all kinds of different things to learn what to do as far as being able to grow a YouTube channel quickly. So I have failed on other channels. That's number one. So if you're someone who is out here and you have started a channel, or you've had a channel for a while and you're seeking how to be able to grow your channel significantly, this is the method on how to do it. The one thing that you do need to know, besides what I said about me having other channels, right, is that when I started this particular channel, this channel is a personal branding channel for me, North Star, right? So the name of my channel is I Am North Star. So that's my now personal brand. What I do is digital marketing technology. So this means that I basically do digital marketing online. And that's basically, what I do as a business full time. So, I know a lot about SEO. I know a lot about all of the ins and outs about how to drive traffic and all that type of stuff. So there is my advantage to being able to have grown my subscriber base on this personal branding channel. I have approached this a little bit differently than I have with anything else, and I'm going to explain how I did that. FYI, I love focusing on and studying virality. Because of that, this is exactly how I approached it when I said I did it a little bit differently. So let me tell you about a channel that I have called How Will Smith Broke the Internet. Of course, when the whole Will Smith scandal happened in 2022 with Chris Rock, for several months, that was a big talking point. When it first happened, I jumped on that immediately and started publishing content about it and grew that channel. Right now, currently, it's almost at 2,000 subscribers. I published on that channel consistently daily for probably 90 days. I was able to jump that channel off pretty quickly because I basically used particular keywords in order to break through, because I knew that I would be faced with a lot of competition. Now I'm bringing this home to point on how I grew this particular channel the way that I did in 30 days, and why I approach this a little bit differently than I have with other channels. And the reason why I'm utilizing the example of my other channel, How Will Smith Broke the Internet, to relate it to how I grew on this channel and give you the game on how you can apply it to what you're doing currently right now. Or if you're just starting a channel or want to start a channel on the things that you can do to help yourself to grow quickly. And look, one thing I do want to point out is your objective on what you want to accomplish when it comes to gaining subscribers, the purpose why you want to gain subscribers at a particular pace. Okay. Most people, of course, the reason why most people do this whole YouTube thing is because we all want to be monetized. I have not yet been monetized on any of my channels. But this one, I will be monetized. And I'm going to explain to you how I know that for certain and why things are moving at the pace that they are currently right now. Virality. Why is virality important? And should you focus on virality at all? The answer is yes, you should. And also the answer for some of you can be no. Virality is not so much important in order for you to break through or to grow quickly. But virality is something that I specialize in and that I focus on and I've been studying for a long time. So I have been very enthralled with the knowledge of the elements of what makes things go viral, being able to identify what is viral and how to basically manufacture virality in content. Okay. Now, with that being said, please, for those of you who are just wanting to get on here and just be your authentic self, don't be intimidated by me talking about this because this is going to apply to you. Your content first should have some sort of virality elements. Virality elements are simple. It could be what you're talking about and how you're delivering the subject matter of what you're talking about. Also editing, right? Some people can get on here and just record one video straight through and talk, or the way that you do your edits, right? That means how you cut the video also matters. Okay. And then of course the other things are quality, whether it's sound, visual, and all of the above. So you have those things as well. So I'm telling you talking points you probably already heard before. But to apply that with what I'm saying and how I was able to grow my channel currently now, past 444 subscribers and counting past 639 subscribers, was because I had applied viral methods to my content. So my first video that I published on this channel, every video that I publish has some sort of virality elements to it. Not particularly, going viral in its entirety or anything like that, but they do have viral elements because it's how I'm talking in the video, the way that the video's edited, the aesthetics around me in the video. Also, it could be the way that I actually edited the video, because I do have a lot of viral edits, right? Viral edits are the way that you edit the video, because it's like high pace, it's quick, things like that. It keeps the viewer intrigued. Now, I had published several videos, and it just so happened there was one piece of viral content that I came across, and I was on TikTok, and it was a comment that I seen on a Glorilla video, and I seen it and I was like, oh, this comment is viral. Now, how did I know that this comment would go viral, or it was a viral comment? It wasn't because the comment had a ton of likes in the section, which it did. It actually did. But the comment itself wasn't viral per se, okay? Because even though that video had millions of views on it, that comment only had, I don't recall how many likes, but it was like, it had a lot of likes on it, okay? It was in the thousands, but I don't recall how many. But I knew that if I used that particular comment on the video, that that would actually get a lot of traction. On TikTok, you can do what's called video replies to the comment. So I had this idea where I was like, okay, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reply to the comment by simply taking the Glorilla video and then I'm going to paste the comment on the video. When people see it, they click on it, it'll take them to the original Glorilla video. That's the way I set it up on TikTok. But I also shared that video across other platforms, Instagram, and then of course here on YouTube. Now, it hasn't gotten much traction on Instagram, and that's the thing about content too. So you can distribute your content to other platforms, and they will perform differently across platforms. And of course, there will be one of them that piece of content will probably go crazy on. And sometimes that same piece of content could go wild on all of the platforms that you distribute it to. It really depends. But most of the time, when you distribute content across multiple platforms, you're going to have a platform that by default you'll probably do very well on. The other ones you'll do fairly well if you're doing well on another platform, but you may not get the same attention because each app or each social media platform has its own, culture. And then, of course, the way their policies are set up dictate what happens to your content on those platforms. Now, I'm going to, of course, stick to the focus of this particular subject matter on this video. But I think that's an important factor for you to know and to be aware of if you are distributing your content across multiple platforms. Now, with that comment, when I posted it on TikTok, at first it started taking off. It started doing well, but it slowed down instantly. And for some reason, TikTok would not allow that video to, really do what it should have done, because I knew it was viral. Okay. But TikTok is fickle about how they go, allow content to go. They just pick and choose what they want. Now, YouTube's a different story. I put that same video on Instagram. Instagram still didn't do much of anything, but I figured it would do extremely well here on YouTube. And the reason I knew that is because of things that I've done previously here on YouTube and how I've seen how YouTube treats rehashed content. Okay. As long as it doesn't get any strikes or anything, then they're going to let it fly. And, so they, YouTube doesn't have they don't really shun reuse of content or anything like that. Like, it's a viral platform, so it's designed for content to go viral. So if it's viral, it's going to be viral. That's just the way it is here on YouTube. So I shared it here on YouTube, and at first it was doing the same thing. It was not doing much of anything. Matter of fact, it wasn't even really getting hardly any views at first. And that happened probably over the course of maybe, I want to say, like 2 weeks or something. And I was like, man, this video is eventually going to take off. But it was getting views, like a little bit, trickle views at a time. And when I seen that, I said, okay, it's just a matter of time before it takes off and it does its thing. And now that video is on its way to 400,000 views. Right now, that video, it's a short, by the way. And I utilize shorts. That's the other point that I wanted to make. So that way that you know exactly how I was able to grow to 444 subscribers in 30 days and why I'm at 639 subscribers and counting and on my way to 1,000 is because I leveraged shorts. I didn't publish long form videos starting out. I published shorts because right now, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, the best way for you to be able to do that is to publish YouTube shorts. Shorts are now up to 3 minutes. They used to be 1 minute long only, or shorter. But now you can publish up to 3 minutes. So anything that's 3 minutes and less will automatically go to shorts. Anything above 3 minutes will be considered long form video. Now, the advantage to publishing on YouTube, whether you do long form or short form, you have the chance of being visible. But I want to point out this one factor that is the determining factor as to why you are able to gain visibility and traction quickly, or why you may not be getting any traction at all. You may not be getting traction at all because you're publishing long form videos. There's nothing wrong with publishing long form videos, and you should publish long form videos. But long form videos are a competitive space when you publish, and it depends on the subject matter. That's another thing. The subject matter matters, okay? And this is the reason why when you're publishing content, why you might not be getting seen, or why your videos might not be getting chosen or recommended or whatever, okay? I know this because I have been doing this for quite some time, and I have published all types of content on this platform, and I've seen what breaks through, what doesn't break through, and the purposes and reasons. And this is another reason why I chose to go with a personal branding channel, right? Knowing what would take place, okay? Of course, there's a lot of personal brand channels, and they don't always do that well, okay? For various reasons. But I'm going to tell you something that I did because, because of my observations, things that I've tested, that I've, learned, and what has allowed me to be able to break through. And when I launch a channel, I pretty much know how it's going to go. But I do have a channel currently right now that I started before I started this one, that currently has 9 videos on it. I started it back in August, and it's about artificial intelligence, and it's not getting any traction at all. And artificial intelligence is not a field, a subject that is like oversaturated or anything. So quite naturally, I should be breaking through on that channel with the first few videos that I published, and it hasn't done so. And I'm pretty sure I know the reasons why, but I do want to point that out, that there's something that I applied. It's working, but it's not working. And when I say it's not working, it's because it's not, it doesn't have a lot of traction on it. And any views that I've gotten on that channel has only been because I've driven the views to that channel by talking to people about it, sending links to people through text messages and things like that. But the reason why this particular channel has been, taken off is because of what I've leaned into, right? The personal brand and the type of content that I am publishing on this channel. Here is the reason why your content may not be getting the traction that you desire. First off, it definitely has to do with subject. So your titles on your videos make a difference. Okay. So if you're not like niche based, right? Like you're not focused on some sort of business, entrepreneur, or anything that's a niche, where people are talking about it, that could be one factor. The other thing is, if you do get clicks on your video, are people sticking around? And if they're not sticking around, then that means that something in your presentation is not sticky enough for people to stick around. Now, let's say that you have either low views or getting no views at all. If you are depending on the algorithm to push your content, I'm going to give you a little unknown secret, right? And it's not a secret. It's just that it's an unknown method that people do not realize that they could be doing to help their videos get picked up and recognized by the algorithm. And this is simple. One, when you first publish your video, the first thing that you should be doing is watching that video. Let that video play from the beginning all the way to the end. And make sure that you hit the like button. Yes, I said you should watch. You should be the very first view on your video. The reason being is because anytime that you publish a video on YouTube, it automatically starts out at 0 when it comes to retention. Okay. So the way that the algorithm looks at content is when your content is being engaged, it looks at a few factors. One is when someone clicks and they choose to watch the video, how long did they stay on the video? Because it's in comparison, it's a percentage thing. So if you have, let's say you have a 5-minute video and people only stick on that video for 30 seconds, that retention rate is going to be in the tank. Okay. Now, in accordance with YouTube, they count a view after 3 seconds, and it has a consideration if they can get people to stick on for like, I think 30 seconds. But you really need to have at least out of 5 minutes, you need a minute watch time, right? For it to even be continued to be pushed and have grow in impressions. So now with that being said, you should be, soon as you publish it, you should be the first view. You should watch it from beginning to end and make sure that you like it. The other thing is you should have like at least a core group of people that you can take and share that video to, right? And you may not be able to do this all the time, and that's okay. But you do want to share that video out. So the more people that you can send your link to through text messaging, right? That means to people's devices. Then that is considered shares. So if you share it to one person, 10 people, or 100 people, that is the number of shares that that particular content has. The other thing is you want to ask them, whoever you're sending a link to, you want to ask them to watch your video from beginning to end. Like, even if their eyeballs aren't on it, they need to just let it play from beginning to end, or they need to watch at least at minimum 30% of that video. What the reason being is because the more attention and interaction you can get on that video, and they also need to like it too, the more retention that you can have on that video, the more likely your video is to be recommended. But here's another tidbit that nobody really knows. If you have multiple YouTube accounts, let's say you might have 3 or 4, because, you know, you might have multiple Gmail accounts, right? Because for whatever reasons, usually when you have multiple Gmail accounts, what happens is those accounts automatically generate an account for, like, you know, to watch YouTube. So like when you sign into YouTube, you can add another account and add your Gmail to add another account. So that gives you another account to watch your video from. So let's say that you have 4 or 5 accounts, and out of those accounts, the account that your channel is active on, you want to watch your video once from that particular account. Then you want to switch. You want to refresh your screen. You want to click on the YouTube icon, switch accounts. Then you want to do either search. You want to basically search for that video and then click play and then watch it again. And you do that on all of your accounts. Now, why is this important and why should you be doing that? Retention. Retention is what you need and what is important for your videos to do well. So here it is. Why you want to watch your video from beginning to end. Remember, I said that when you first publish a video, all videos start out at 0 retention. That means the floor at the bottom. So when you get a click and somebody watches it, and if they only watch for 30 seconds and it's a 5-minute video, that retention automatically starts off with a terrible retention rate just because of the first viewer. Now, the algorithm will still give it a chance and still push it out. And if the viewers who are viewing your content are not sticking around long enough, then that from that first view to the 10th view is going to, have your retention pretty low, right? And that's not what you want. You want your retention to start out very high, and then you want the viewers who watch your content and that are hurting your retention, you want the retention to be high enough and to be strong enough to where the viewers who are watching it only drag the retention down only so much. So instead of your retention trying to recover from the floor and go up, you want your retention to start out high and to be brought down, and then therefore is going to find a medium where it will be satisfactory to the algorithm to continue to recommend your video. Here's what I mean. If you're the first view and you watch it from beginning to end, your retention automatically starts out at 100%. YouTube doesn't always start it with 100%. It may do 97 or 98, but it's usually in between 97% to 98%. But usually, sometimes you can get 100%, but for the sake of concept, let's make it 100%. So if you watch that video from 5 different accounts 5 times from beginning to end, your retention rate is going to be at, say, 500%. Once that happens, the algorithm will recommend your video because it sees that the retention rate is pretty high. So it's going to give it a chance and see what happens. Now, as you start to gain views and people come in, and let's say you have a viewer who only watches for 30 seconds, instead of it starting out from a terrible retention rate from the first viewer, it started out at a high retention rate. You watched it 5 times, it's 500%. So that 30-second viewer brought it down just a tad bit, right? But not much. It didn't bring it down so much. It just only brought it down a little bit. Then the other viewers who come in, let's say you get 10 viewers and they all watch different parts of the video, but they're all watching a minute or less or whatever, that only brings the retention down so far. But it brings it down to a point where the retention remains high enough for your video to continue to get pushed by the recommendation of the algorithm. So then let's just say that your video is actually good and you have a good thumbnail and all of that, but it's just having a rough time starting out, right? And because of that, that is why you want to watch your video from the beginning with the first view, or in this case, from multiple accounts. Now, if you have a group of people who you can share that to and they actually watch the video at least 30%, that's cool. But you really want, them to say, hey, watch this video from beginning to end. Watch it when you have time to watch it from beginning to end. And if you don't watch it, just at least let it play from beginning to end, and make sure that you like it. So if they do those things, then you'll have a good chance on retention rate. And then therefore your video will have a great chance of being recommended by the algorithm. And that's basically how it works. That's an unknown secret, or basically unknown knowledge that a lot of people don't know. And how I know this is because, again, I have been doing a lot of experimenting and all, and I because of what I do, with digital marketing technology, I recognized that because I had a video, a couple of videos actually, that I was doing that to. And I realized that every time I did that, my videos had, started increasing in views, and also with recommendation, meaning, by the algorithm. So that's something that I do with all of my videos. So every time I publish a video, that's what I do. I'll be the first several views on that video so that it'll have a chance to be recommended. And the more that you do that, there will come a time where you won't have to really do that anymore, because now when you publish, the algorithm automatically recognizes that your content is sticky enough that people are interested in it and will continue watching your content. Remember earlier I said virality, having elements of virality. The title of your video matters, okay? Also, the subject matter, how you are talking in the video, and of course, like they say, niche. It depends on your niche. Even though this is a personal brand channel per se, and I do digital marketing technology, I had leaned into this because I needed to be able to connect with people differently than I had been, for the sake of my business. Okay. Now, with that being said, I used a Glorilla video on her song, Let Her Cook. It was the viral video, her video that went viral, with her doing a part of her song where she was at her house or something, and she was dancing in the bathroom. Then she had like a spatula and a skillet, and then a pan and a skillet, and then she was in the pantry and got some cake mix. And then at the end of the video, she had some Walmart great value products on there, and the comment that was made on her video on TikTok had stated that, oh, look, she's still uses great value products. That's awesome, or something like that, what the comment said. And I thought that was something that people would very much relate to, and why I use that, and why I leverage that to enable my channel to go viral. Because that's what I would have done anyway. It didn't have to be Glorilla. It could be something else, because that's what I do, is I find content that will connect with people. And, because look, here's the thing. This is a personal branding channel for me, right? And I'm into a lot of different things. Personal branding allows you to communicate, or not necessarily communicate, but allows you to share who you are and what you're about, and still be able to connect with people in the way that you want to be able to make money or do business. Okay. So now, with that being said, I'm sitting here talking about something in relation to what I do with marketing, right? Online marketing, digital marketing, and so on and so forth. But the content that I share on this particular channel, I rap. I've been doing this since I was 10 years old. So I do viral rap verses. That's what I call them, viral rap verses, by finding music on TikTok, and then I don't really find them. They find me. That's the thing. That's how it works. I don't go looking for beats. It's just when I'm scrolling and they surface on my feed, and if it touches me, like it makes me feel like I want to go in on it, then I do. So that's something that's fun for me and something that I do and that relates to people. So I'm doing things that are relatable. Also, when it comes to like current events, not everything, but some things that I find that will connect with people in a particular way, I share it. That's why I shared the whole Glorilla thing, figuring that more than likely would go viral. But the idea, the virality of that content uplifts and pushes out my content because it brings more views to what I do content wise, right? So that allows my content to flourish. Now, as I said, when it comes to a niche, you need to recognize what you're doing and whether if what you're doing is competitive. And if it's not, let's say that you're just doing a channel that, is more based around you, then, you're not competing with other people. You're just focused on you. So whatever you do to title your content, you need to put some intentionality behind the way that you title your content, because that is what's going to actually click, what's going to push through, because it's all you gotta think. YouTube is search, and now they have what's called recommended content. The way that you title your content, you want it to attach to things that are actually being looked at, right? So let's say today you feel like, talking about whatever. It doesn't matter whether it's sports or, ladies who are watching makeup or any type of personal thing or whatever. You got to make your titles relatable, because that's what really breaks through. You don't want to just title it any kind of way. You think about the conversations, how when you talk to people and like how certain things you say, or when someone says something, how you connect to it, or when you say something, how they connect to you because of what you said. That's the way that you want to craft your titles. So when people look at it, they click on it because it's relatable, right? Whatever subject matter it is that you're going to talk about. So in relation to you being able to get views, grow your channel, your subscribers quickly, is all based on elements of virality, right? The reason why I keep using that term is not that you have to focus on or try to go viral, because a lot of people do. It's not really going to happen if you don't understand the science of it, because it is a science to virality, okay? Because you can do things and it happens by luck. That means that you just did it and it happens, right? But because you don't know the reason why it happened, then it will be hard for you to duplicate. But if you pay attention to what you do, then quite naturally, or study what you've done, then quite naturally you'll be able to do it. To my point about what you need in order for you to be able to grow at the pace you want and also get monetized, is you want to publish your content, and you want your content to contain certain elements. You need great titles, a good thumbnail, and you have to be mindful about how your content, how you're delivering in your video, right? Whether if it's images that you're using, the aesthetics in the background or surroundings, because it doesn't always matter about that. But a lot of times, people are visual, because they're visual, that matters, right? You also want it to also, be shareable too, because that is another factor about being able to get recommended, is shareability. Okay, so as long as you have those things, then you should be okay. All right. So instead of you spinning your wheels or whatever, now you can use the method that I'm doing and, find content and rehash it. Don't take other people's content and, take their whole thing, use a part of it, something that will click. But if you really, 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 really want to jump your channel off, it is to my recommendation that because you have YouTube Shorts, start off with YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is the easiest way for your channel to start getting views immediately, right? And for your channel to start growing subscribers immediately. Long form videos have a difficult time getting the clicks, getting the impressions and recommendation and all of that. Sometimes you can, most times you're just going to be publishing a lot of videos. Now, what you want to do is publish shorts and keep publishing shorts often. I'm talking about daily, because the more it's like a compounding. It's a compounding effect. The more content that you have, the more chances you have to be recommended and to be seen. But because shorts are highly favored by YouTube, when you publish shorts are usually going to get pushed out. And if you make a short that's good and it connects, hey, it's going to continue to be recommended. So with that being said, then you can start leaning into the long form content. But I would not publish right away. I would say, if you're a new channel, you're just getting started, I'll wait a while to publish long form content, because more than likely your videos aren't going to get any views on them. All right. You don't have to take what I'm saying and run with it. It's up to you. It's your choice. But if you really want to be able to get those results, because shorts are highly favored by YouTube, go with shorts first. And shorts will be your route in order to grow your channel fairly quickly. I would say probably after a month, if you've been publishing shorts consistently and at a high frequency, this means at least once a day for 30 days. Like, just do one a day for 30 days. Then you should publish a long form video. Because more than likely what's going to happen is, once you have enough content, right? And really you need to publish around about, I would say, like at least minimum 35 shorts. 35 shorts. You need, so I said 30 days, one a day. So do it for like 35 to 40 days. Have it like 35 shorts minimum. And then once you publish that, then you start doing your long form. And then what will happen is the traction that you're getting from the shorts will end up transferring over into and trickling to your long form content. Because what happens is, once the algorithm sees that your channel is getting activity, then it's going to begin to recommend your long form content. Because if you do it right away, it's not going to happen. In my experience, from what I've seen, and I've done this multiple times, it just doesn't, it just won't. Okay. Because it takes a while. For some reason, the way that, because it's two different algorithms. It's not one algorithm. There's an algorithm for shorts and there's an algorithm for long form content. So that algorithm acts differently than the shorts algorithm. But once the shorts algorithm, your videos are doing fairly well, and they don't have to get a bunch of views. They just need to be getting views. And of course, again, you're going to keep publishing, and at some time, you're going to have different videos that get a different amount of views. And what happens is that ends up pushing over into your long form content. So I would do that at least 30 days after after your 35th video. Then I would publish start publishing long form videos. So there you have it. That's what I have for you. Make sure that you use what I just said and follow what I told you on how to be able to do it. Now I gave you this video is pretty long, and I've given you a lot of things to be able to run with and work with to enable you to help you grow your YouTube channel fairly quickly.